Question 7. Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression from it to the full product? When comparing my preliminary task of a college magazine to the final magazine front cover, there is an enormous difference in the aesthetic of it. Whilst my preliminary task looks rushed, lacking in skill and unsophisticated, I can confidently say that my final product is much more professional and realistic. Throughout my journey to create my music magazine, I feel I have improved on both my technical skill and my eye for design, especially in the magazine industry. Although I was already comfortable using Photoshop and its companions, such as InDesign, as I have used them both before, as well as others, I honestly believe my skill on them has improved. My major improvement is that I have learnt the conventions of a magazine which I did not previously know, as can be seen from my preliminary task, and also this fashion magazine front cover that I created at GCSE. Both of these are examples of the improvements I have made in both understanding and producing the key conventions of a magazine that I didn't previously understand or realize, such as not using too many different fonts on one page, using columns to coordinate the arrangement of the page, the presentation of a masthead, and the use of images. I developed this knowledge from researching other music magazines, particularly of my genre, such as Q, peer feedback on SurveyMonkey and Tutor Feedback, and experimentation while creating my actual product on InDesign and Photoshop. The understanding of both conventions and the industry of magazines has been my best achievement of this coursework, and I am happy and proud that I have created a reasonably professional, effective, and appropriate music magazine front cover, although I still see many areas of improvement when looking back at my final full product. I think I was scared most of the time throughout creating my product of going out of my comfort zone to create something exaggerated or fun, because I was nervous of downgrading the professional appearance of the magazine. This may have been a downfall, and maybe I should have at least experimented with some more exciting or boisterous effects or fonts, to spice up my magazine a little bit more. If I were to do this task again, this is something that I would consider doing. Also, if I were to create another music magazine, I would possibly try a metal or rock genre rather than an indie pop. I've decided this because I felt very torn during the production of my magazine, trying to conform to both the indie conventions and the pop conventions, which was very hard to do, and I felt myself leaning a lot more towards indie conventions as they were easier to do, which made my magazine appear more indie than pop. I think a more specific genre would allow me to focus on more certain singular conventions that would allow me to really emphasize certain codes and conventions of a magazine without compromising my other genre, which in this case I was compromising pop a lot of the time. I would also try to commit more time to my coursework and be more organized, not just in time management, but in circumstances such as making a call sheet and planning what my model was going to wear and how he or she was going to pose. This is something that lacked in the production of my Bind music magazine. Overall, I am happy and proud of the journey that I have taken to create my music magazine, and I am happy with my final product.